Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, January 16th, day after Martin Luther King Day. Um, I am freezing up here, and I think Alan is facing the same sort of weather, but we got slammed with a storm last week. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday's when the temperatures dropped. But I don't think we were even positive today. I think we were like -1 was our high today. Um, and for those of you that aren't aware, what happens is you get a layer of snow that gets so compacted and so frozen that it just will not go away. Um, Even like driveway salt, they say it's good to -5. It's colder than that. Um, so yeah, we're pretty much indoors. Go out if we can. Our dogs are so hilarious trying to get out because we got to put stupid little booties on their feet just to go out, and they do not like them. So yeah. Um, Big news in the airline industry today, and actually two things going on. First, Boeing is still having issues with their 737 Max. So I think they got hit today. I think they were down like 8%. And then the disappointing news for us is Spirit Airlines and the Spirit JetBlue merger was denied or blocked by a federal judge. And I think that news came around noon because if you look at today's stock chart on Save, which is Spirit, they basically halved. Um, and I'm going to let Alan explain because Alan emailed out save a call. So I'm going to let Alan explain the history of this merger, where the stock was before the merger, what happened to the stock during the merger or during the talks, and where it is today, and um, why the $8 calls. So Alan, you want to explain where Save started out before the merger?
Yeah, so I've been in the save for a long time. I actually had at one time over $200,000 in Spirit stock, and I decided it wasn't. I had it protected by puts, and I decided it really wasn't worth holding on to, so I got rid of it all. I've been playing the calls for the last month, doing okay because we saw some movement upwards on the save. And but then it was kind of like doing some weird stuff. If you go over like a 2 3 month, about a month two period, it was getting some bursts out there. Then it would kind of go down, but you could
Yeah.
get them really cheap. It's funny how they really knew that the news was coming out because the options were very expensive on the call and put side. Unfortunately, I was very heavily on the call side, but I was looking for a huge movement upward. This is what happens. And the thing is that where Spirit started out at $22. It went up to 25 on the merger news. It held there. And the government got involved, decided that they knew what was best for Spirit. They said they were going to block it. They filed a lawsuit against it. It went from 25 down to 20, then 18, then 17. I had puts on it the whole time, so I didn't lose any money. Sold my stock, and then been playing the calls. Now,
Right.
what will happen is that Frontier offered him about 25 a share. I'm expecting Frontier to get involved by the end of the week and put another bid in. But um, I have to think Spirit's going to finish the week out at about 15. Obviously, nothing like the $33.50 that was offered to him from JetBlue. The insanity of this whole thing, I don't even know if I've seen a stock do this. Rarely does a stock get blocked by the government. But I mean, for a stock to go ahead and be offered $33.50 for a buyout to be at $8 is got to be the stupidest, dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, exactly. You know, and this drop today was well, um, you know, way extreme. And yeah, like you said, it should recover some of that. It's just such the shock of the news that
I don't even believe that, Brian. The whole thing was rigged. And why? And you say, why do you say that? If you bring up Merrill Edge Pro or TD Ameritrade Pro, you'll see that the stock was shorted. These weren't people selling their position; these were people shorting the position. So these are huge shorts that were shorting. You had over 65 million shares that were dropped. So my experience is, this is just my experience, and I've yet to see it. If you go ahead and have a ticker that can show you the short trades, you will see that Spirit was shorted.
the short interest, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So what I'll
eventually,
do is when I get in front of a computer, I'll screenshot it to you, because what happens is that when you have you can't see the short position being purchased other than in like in a grade like 1, 2 position. And what it is that they don't like mess around. Like they'll go ahead and do block trades of where they'll short 200,000 shares of Spirit. And there's not enough buyers because everybody's shell shocked, like, oh my God, like, what do we do now? And then all of a sudden the thing drops. Like, that thing dropped all the way down to $5.
right. Well, and eventually they have to cover that short. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where we see this tail today. You know, they came back in, covered the short, and the stock rose back up to $8. And I think it's trading just under 8 today, or at the close.
So if you get some news like Frontier says that they're going to go ahead and throw their hat back in the ring and they want to purchase Spirit or something, or how it works in the United States is if you have Taiwan Airlines wants to buy Spirit, they'll give them the red carpet treatment. I mean, all you got to do is look at Chrysler.
Right, exactly.
It's like, oh, nobody in the United States could buy it, but let's go ahead and let Fiat buy it.
Well,
Oh, there you go. An Italian, or let's let the Tim Hortons, a Canadian company, buy Burger King.
right, exactly. Yeah. Well, and I
That's
remember, so we're from Milwaukee, which is a pretty industrial city, or used to be. So we had Pabst beer. We had Miller, which I think was bought by a foreign brand. I think we had American Motors, which is now long history. So yeah, yeah. But on positive notes, so I was watching AI in the chips today. Nivea's up $3. AMD, which had a very good day and continues to do well, was up $8. And if you look at this 3-month chart, we just continue to rise. CrowdStrike another.
So AMD was up today?
Yeah, AMD was up 8% today.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, and I like this chart pattern. So yeah,
So
I like I said, I'm watching the chips. I'm watching things related to AI, CrowdStrike, which provides security, was up 1%. Even the Nasdaq I saw was green for a little bit before being red. So it'll be an interesting year. We're starting off red. We're starting off somewhat like headwinds. Even though I think Thursday or Friday we're green. I think it'll be interesting when the buying opportunity starts. But I definitely think we're going to be above what we are. The end of the year is going to be above what we are today. It usually is. So I don't know, Alan, your thoughts on when the market starts buying and starts rallying again?
usually it's the second week in February. But it's interesting that you saw those Nasdaq stocks moving up. Nasdaq's usually good in the month of January, but we'll have to watch that close. But usually the Dow and the markets don't rise to the first or second week in February.
Right. Well, and the Nasdaq has had such a run from last year. They were kind of the leaders, and it'll be interesting if they take a pause and the market shifts to like the Dow or shifts to the small caps, which have been they haven't really taken advantage of the run that the Nasdaq has. And they're a little bit more risky. They tend to be risk on in the market. If you look at the four different, the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq, and then the Russell, they tend to be the riskiest out of the four. So if this is a risk on sort of year, look for those to do well as look to those to rise. So yeah, I think keep plugging away. Hershey's is stock to look towards for
February 14th.
February 14th. I was going to say Valentine's. I was having a hard time coming up with a holiday for Valentine's Day because that doesn't really mean as much to me anymore.
What?
I'm an old married man, so yeah.
Jesus.
I
Yeah,
hate to
wow.
run. I hate to run. I think we got basketball tonight.
All right. Well, you have a good one, Brian. Go Green Bay. Take care of San Francisco. Come to Detroit so we can kick your ass.
Yeah.
Man, we'll have so many cheeseheads in the crowd. I don't know what to do.
And I'm gonna have to buy up. I'm gonna have to stock up because I only have a Rodgers jersey for Green Bay. That's I think my only Green Bay apparel. So if we do come to Detroit, I'll see if I can make that work and try to find more Green Bay apparel or
I gotta think that Green Bay football years probably went up in value.
right, exactly. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, sounds good.
Keep underestimating the Packers and they're gonna run over you just like we did with Dallas. So
Yeah.
Good luck with Tampa Bay. And then yeah, in 2 weeks we'll see you in Ford Field. So
All right.
okie doke. You guys have a good rest of the week. Stay warm. There's Alan on the Bucks Beach. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just there, man.
Okie doke. And Vegas is set. I can't wait. Especially with this weather. Nice to chill and enjoy. Yeah, I was gonna say party, but I can't say that too loud, so hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we'll see you, Brian.
Bye, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.